You eat clean. You exercise. Your weight is normal. You check every box on the healthy list. You feel invincible.
But underneath the surface, a silent clock is ticking.
You okay, David? Pushing it a bit hard today?
So why do people like you, people who look perfectly fit on the outside,
Still have sudden heart attacks?
I don't know. I feel tight. Meet David. He's 45, runs marathons, and his cholesterol is normal. But today, standard tests often miss the most dangerous culprit, soft plaque. It doesn't block the blood flow yet.
This vulnerable plaque is like a hidden landmine. It's thin, unstable, and can rupture even when you feel your absolute best.
Your heart rate is 180 and we've been stopped for 2 minutes. David, look at me.
Today, we're gonna look past the gym selfies and the healthy labels to uncover the hidden risks that could be lurking in your heart right now.
Park trail near the North Gate. He's athletic, he's never had symptoms. Please hurry.
That thin cap we saw earlier, it just ruptured. When soft plaque breaks, it exposes a sticky core to the bloodstream.
Your body thinks it's an injury. It sends platelets to heal the leak. But inside an artery, this healing process creates a deadly blood clot.
For many healthy people, the hidden culprit is lipoprotein A genetic factor.
David did everything right. But he didn't know about the hidden war being fought inside his chest. Stay with me, David. In the world of heart health, time is muscle. Every second that passes without blood flow, a piece of David's athletic heart is dying. David isn't overweight. He doesn't smoke. He just won a 10K race last month. How did we get here?
The healthy paradox. Standard tests look for blockages like a clogged pipe. But David's arteries weren't clogged. They were unstable. This is what most doctors miss. Chronic inflammation. It's like a slow-burning fire inside your... Even if your cholesterol is perfect, high levels of inflammation can cause this thin lining to rupture, triggering a massive clot in seconds.
The ER entrance! The place where even the fittest of the fit are forced to confront a genetic destiny they want. They didn't know.
Behind these doors, doctors aren't looking at his marathon medals or his resting heart rate. They are looking for the hidden leak. 1,000 steps, lean protein, 0 sugar. For Sarah, the math of health has suddenly stopped adding up. Biology doesn't care about your fitness tracker if your blood is sticky. Genetic factors like lipoprotein act like biological glue, creating clots where there should be flow.
Standard medicine looks for the clogged pipe, calcium that shows up on a basic scan. But David didn't have a plumbing problem. He had a structural failure. When that thin fibrous cap, the one we saw earlier, finally tears, it's like a volcanic eruption inside your artery. The body's repair system overreacts. This is the golden hour. Platelets swarm the rupture site, forming a massive clot in seconds. Restoration. A stent is deployed to crush the clot and the soft plaque against the walls, forcing the pipe back open.
David survived because he got help in time. But what about the millions who think they are perfectly healthy because their basic tests came back clear?
I did everything right, Sarah. I don't understand.
David is one of the lucky ones. But as the adrenaline fades...
To understand David's heart, we have to look at the 3 hidden risks that standard checkups often ignore.
First, chronic inflammation. Your cholesterol can be low, but if your inflammation markers, like hs-CRP, are high, your arteries are essentially a tinderbox.
In this state, even a healthy workout can become a trigger. Intense stress on an inflamed artery can cause that.
Second, the genetic glue, lipoprotein. If you have this inherited trait, your blood is naturally stickier. It's a risk your soft plaque. Unlike hard calcium that shows up on basic x-rays, this fatty buildup is invisible to traditional stress tests. It lives inside the artery wall, not just on the surface. You can have a clear artery and still be carrying a high-pressure explosive.
Your fitness tracker sees your heart rate, but it can't see the structural integrity of your vessel walls.
I thought the data meant I was safe. I was watching the wrong numbers.
Thousands of people are running today, feeling invincible, while their genetics and inflammation levels tell a different story.
So how do we find it?
Advanced imaging, like the CCTA, is the only way to see the soft danger before it's too late.
But knowing is only half the battle. Once you see the hidden risk, you have to change the way you define healthy forever.
It's a shift in mindset. From chasing performance goals to monitoring the biological foundation that makes performance possible.
You can look like an athlete on the outside, but if your ApoB, your main driver of plaque, is high, your risk is high. Period.
It's about particle count, not just weight. Think of it like cars on a highway. It's the number of cars.
The journey back to true health doesn't start with a faster mile.
One step at a time, David.
This time, we're doing it right.
True health isn't just about the absence of symptoms. It's about the strength of the foundation.
I feel different, Sarah.
It's about moving beyond the perfect numbers on a standard lab report to find the hidden truth in our biology.
This means testing for the real drivers of risk, ApoB, hs-CRP, and that genetic glue, lipoprotein.
Knowledge is the only way to disarm the ticking time bomb. It's the difference between guessing and knowing.
So we target the inflammation and the particle count, not just the total weight?
David is leaving the hospital, but he isn't going back to his old life. He's going forward to a smarter, safer future. But for millions of others, the bomb is still ticking. They look fit. They feel fine. They assume they are safe. Because the danger isn't the fat you can see on the outside. It's the silent, microscopic inflammation you can't.
A standard physical is just the surface. To truly know your risk, you have to go deeper into your blood chemistry.
Real health is a partnership between the effort you put in and the knowledge you seek out.
We're not just training for marathons anymore, David. We're training for longevity.
Because healthy is more than just a look. It is a biological reality that requires vigilance. It's easy to ignore what we can't see. But for David, the unseen almost became his end.
I'm glad I'm still here to see this. I won't take it for granted again.
Because a hidden heart risk doesn't care about your marathon medals or your daily step count. It only cares about the truth.
Your health is more than what we see in the mirror. It's time to look deeper. David didn't just survive a heart attack. He survived a system that told him he was fine because he looked the part.
It's a new chapter, David.
We don't guess anymore, we know.
The real insurance policy isn't your 10K time. It's the data that looks at your ApoB, your inflammation, and your genetic blueprints.
True longevity is built on a foundation of visibility. You cannot fix what you refuse to see.
I'm not just running for a finish line anymore. I'm running for more time.
It's about being proactive, not reactive.
The best time to check was years ago.
The second best time is today.
It's time to take control of the silent variables before they take control of you.
The marathon isn't just the miles you run on the road.
It's the decades of maintenance happening.
Most people wait for the pain to tell them something is wrong. By then, the clock has already run out.
But a hidden risk is only a threat until it is found. Knowledge is the ultimate medicine.
David is back on the trail today, but this time, he's running with eyes wide open. He knows his numbers. He knows his heart.
True health isn't a look, it's a biological reality. It requires the courage to look beneath the surface and act on what you find. Because the most dangerous heart attack isn't the one caused by laziness. It's the one hidden behind the mask of perfect health. Don't just train to look good, train to stay alive. Your heart is a silent engine that deserves more than just a guess.
If you learned something new, subscribe to our channel to join a community that looks deeper into the science of longevity.
And share this with someone who thinks they're perfectly healthy. It might be the most important conversation they ever have. Because when it comes to your heart, what you don't see is exactly what you need to know. Stay safe. Stay informed.